when you're drafting like Uranus, for example, typically when you draft an XP laner like Uranus, you want to make sure that your jungler is at least an assassin or a scaling kind of junglers. Because why would you want to use the Uranus for tanking the damage as well as splitting the lanes, right? Because you want to make space for another person to scale. And the fact that Guinevere is not that kind of hero, together with the Brody, right? So if there's anything that I can fault like for that draft coming out from Burmese schools, it might be the Uranus.
Really? I was thinking that maybe even the Angela could have been switched out for something else, put into the support position like it's supposed to be, and something in the mid lane that could happen. I mean, the other radical ideas are like, maybe Alice in the jungle. I mean, we're talking about scaling, might as well scale like that, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. The first pick now for Burmese schools. They ban out the Joy again, and then it's still Bruno for APBR. But this time, you get first pick. So you have Nolan priority, you probably have Arlet priority at this point. I will not be surprised if eventually both Burmese schools and APBR just get the Arlet at first chance they get.
Yeah, and that's more likely for the Burmese schools this time around, because I would not be surprised if this happened the same way Game 1 did, but on the other side around. So maybe it would be like Ujaved. Deja vu upside down.
Yeah. Oh man, it's a little tough. It's a little tough because now we are seeing a couple of similarities to game number 1 on the reverse side for at least Burmese schools. We're all playing on the blue side compared to APBR on the red side. We see the Joy. We also see the Phobias. And I'm hoping that maybe APBR is going to do something about this, right? Do they respect Nolan enough? Because I'm noticing that most teams are like, yeah, if we like playing it, therefore every other team loves playing it.
Yeah. Okay, so that means that both Nolan and 1-1 is the priority. I think that the weird thing about this is that Burmese schools might just copy what Brent did and ban the Faramis third ban.
Yep.
That's a great sign.
That's a great sign.
That's a great sign.
But I think, the reason why is, imagine if Burmese school secures Nolan or 1-1. Both of those two heroes struggle against Faramis, and APBR will be very happy to pick up the Faramis as their first set of picks.
If the Ghouls don't ban it here.
If the Ghouls don't ban it.
If the Ghouls ban it here, then we're off to a great trade. We have action.
Well, I mean, there's also the possibility. I mean, I'm not seeing any Valentina bans considerably coming into game number 1. I don't expect it to happen in game number 2. So it's one of those situations. You take Faramis, I take Valentina. Therefore, that's the trade.
And that's the only time she shows up.
Yeah.
But then again, was totally snubbed in game 1. So I expect this will be the tell. Whatever the Burmese Ghouls ban here will tell the tale.
At the same vein, you want to ban the Arlet. But I think the Faramis might be the best ban for Burmese Ghouls. They banned Mathilda. Oh, wow, Mathilda, of course.
I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting APBR to be doing the banning of the Mathilda, right? I mean, they love playing it, so therefore they expect the Burmese schools to do the same. But Burmese schools taking that first initiative, now giving that tempo over to APBR. Now they kind of decide what is going to be that first pick.
What if APBR bans Valentina instead? And then they overload. They overload Burmese schools. What will you pick? Will you pick up something like Nolan, the 1-1, or the Faramis?
Which one?
Which one? You can only pick one. And if I ban the Valentina, you're now in checkmate.
That's a really good... Oh, you're right.
They lose the trade either way.
Yeah, especially since they are on the red side. That gets more of these picks. So let's see here. You see that red side, APBR have decided to get rid of...
The 1-1.
Oh, the 1-1 already.
Right. So this allows for a more equal trade.
Yes.
Wait, what if they're switching out? Okay, no 1-1. We trust in our gold laner, Super Marco. We still have Arlet available.
That's right.
So that's going to be the trifecta
100%.
now.
Yeah.
Arlet Faramis or Arlet Valentina, whichever.
Yeah, I'm thinking
AP
Arlet
Brand goes
Faramis for APBR. I mean, honestly, the best choice for Burmese schools now is to pick up the Faramis. But at the same time, I think that they will not pass up on Nolan again.
I mean, if that's the case, then is there any consideration with so much CC that, I don't know, throw in that Diggy here, the clock broken? Because, I mean, back in M2 Grand Finals, Diggy was banned in all 7 games.
Truly shows how things have changed. And again, the Ghouls keeping us honest. They do pick up the Faramis first. Something to note. At the times of M2, Coach Ducky was very vocal about hating Diggy. Now, he wouldn't even think twice if Coach Brent says, we're playing Diggy, okay.
Say less.
Say less.
We'll do it.
Okay, Arlet is open for APBR. I think that's a priority now.
Valentina as well. I mean, there's so many things that they could open up with, and that's going to predetermine what Burmese Ghouls are going to complete this first phase of the draft with.
And they also have the Guinevere. Some teams, some players don't like the Guinevere in this case. But yeah, it's Arlet win could be good. It's still very flex too.
Nolan's still here.
Nolan, yeah, Nolan, of course. Nolan Arlet. The Lord, I love it because it's the Faramis answer.
That's right. Plus the burst of the Nolan doesn't matter.
I love the fact that AP Brand always, especially in the drafting phase, it's not like we're setting up for something. It's, oh, you present a question, we present problems upon problems upon problems.
That's right. How they answer this? You pick up No, you don't do anything. So they still go Brody. Makes a lot of sense. And a Martis. Martis is a hero that Nolan cannot necessarily overtake in the jungling when it comes to his jungling speed. At least in the first salvo of creeps, first rotation, you get level 4 both of you because of the speed of the Martis. And now it's a coin toss. Do you actually win the first turtle fight and then snowball from there? Between Nolan and Martis, Martis needs it more.
Already, I think the Ghouls are off to a good start. They are already much better than they were in Game 1, draft-wise. Back to Wolf's point, it's just a matter of execution. Timing, what do you do with the advantage now that you have?
Well, I think a lot of things are kind of set in stone now that we see the Arlet get locked in, 50% overall ban, and pick rate 47%. And that number is definitely going to change throughout the tournament.
It's going to rise.
It's really going to rise. I feel that, especially for the Burmese Ghouls, at least this opens up the option of saying, even if we are going to be playing towards Gold type, we can play for the earlier stages of the game. We don't necessarily need to take first turtle as long as we get like 2, maybe even 3 if we're super lucky throughout the match.
Yeah, AP Brand now, they do have a choice to ban out maybe XP laners at this point. Terza comes to mind because it's a hero that's great versus the Claude. You can actually still ban the Minotaur if you're AP Brand.
Yep.
Because if you remember, like, Burmese Ghouls, they want their roamer to be in the front. That will definitely be the ban.
Oh, they've really done their homework. They're not letting it through, no matter blue or red side. We jump back to the Burmese Ghouls, right? What are the problems that we're expecting from AP Brand that Burmese Ghouls don't want to deal with?
Valentina, perhaps? All of those few heroes. Valentina, as well as Edith, I believe. Edith is a roamer / XP laner choice that kind of deals with the Faramis because you take out all of those shields with your ultimate.
Is there any consideration for the Navaria? Because I'm looking at this comp and I'm like, man, it's kind of similar to game number 1. Is that going to be the case of saying, hey, let's just outplay the Netherrealm and then maybe we can make something happen?
The falling stars brought us here.
Well, the answer is definitely yes. That's a great fight because Novaria is also a hero that Faramis cannot reach necessarily. So you want to go Novaria in that case.
Not just Faramis. All of the heroes right now can't find the Novaria.
Rises when I give the word.
Oh, same bands. It's the Kali. That's again.
Interesting. So that means AP Brennan's like, well, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't need to fix it, right?
That's right.
Let's just keep to the same philosophy.
We won in short fashion in Game 1. Why don't we do it again? Because so far, it's up to Burmese Ghouls. Ball's in their court. They are the ones who have to adjust. They're the ones who have to show us something new. And so far, I think they're on the right track.
Yeah.
Do they still ban the Valentina here, though?
Ooh.
Just to cover their bases?
Yeah, I think so. I think so because, I mean, Valentina is also a hero that kind of likes the decimation in the first fight. Yeah, in the first turtle fight, right? You get the decimate and then you have so much damage.
Yep.
And then in latter portions of the game, you now copy the Netherrealm. Yeah, and I think we heard
the voice.
It was definitely her.
Is this the Lilia angle coming out from the side of AP Brand? I mean, it just ways to peel their opponents for the time being before they do that push and pull dance all over again. Could be a possibility. Definitely something to consider. But it looks like you know, the lock-ins have started to come through. I'm pretty sure that's a Guinevere.
Yeah,
am I right?
that's a Gwyn, which we did prescribe earlier on.
They're going to put the Guinevere in the Roam. Or the XP, either way. We've seen both Arlet and Gwyn in both rows.
I mean, you know my angle. I love double flex picks here. I love hiding, well, not really hiding your strats, but always keeping your opponents on their toes, even in the draft. It feels like the pressure never left game 1.
Again, whenever you're playing against AP Bren, you got to look out for those DFPs. The battle begins in the draft.
Yeah.
That's just what Vren and Ducky bring to the table.
I wish that Benedetta will be the XP lane choice, but there still is the Terizla that I see for the side of... oh, Lapu!
That's a carbon pick right there.
That's really
That is a
interesting.
carbon pick.
That's a carbon pick.
It's one of those situations whereby, like, when you're going up against the Arlet and you're looking for something to not only win the lane, but also look for some high burst, Lapu kind of comes into mind. Anti-CC works really, really well against that Arlet, but it does mean that AP brand get the choice of who goes into the EXP lane.
That's right.
They're leaning hard on that DFP. I love it. Up until this last pick,
Yeah.
you don't know who's going where, and we're still looking for the few hero.
Farsa could be good for AP Brand, although there's the Lapu-Lapu, so that might be a little bit of a problem for Mr. Few
Idol ng mga kids, as he's known
Yeah.
locally.
or Eve. But Valentina's... Oh, Valentina was already banned out, so...
It ain't just a game.
Okay, so yeah, you're left with Gord.
Fight
Oh.
You got no choice. But there's a lot of jump. Well, there is a jump from Burmese Gold. There's Lapu-Lapu. If you count the flicker play coming out from the Kaja, that could also be good. So this is not the best Gord game, but it is still a good game for Few.
I mean, it fulfills the conditions, right? You have people who can set you up, and more importantly, you need it high burst rather than a consistent amount of DPS, which Gord actually provides, especially once he gets enough stacks stacking upon you to get the true damage. Let's have a look at the team comparison here, and let's start breaking this down, because again, counter index is looking more into AP Brand's favor by only 0.3. That's a very small margin.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I will not pretend to be an expert in this, but I think that yeah, you can say that when it comes to like countering your enemies, I think AP Brand has, I would say, more tools to counter their opponents.
Yeah.
Like I do feel like the Claude is still a good hero in the Faramir setting, and I don't think that it was even addressed in this situation. Lapu-Lapu is not the hero that you look for when going up against a Claude, because it's not a one-hit knockout kind of thing.
Very similar to game one then.
Yeah.
As we go into this match point for AP Bren, and the Ghouls are holding on. The Ghouls already adjusting the way they could. And I'll say it again, I said it in the draft, they're looking much better now. It just comes down to execution.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that this early game goes well for the side of Burmese Ghouls to put up a really decent fight against AP Bren. But let's keep in mind, the scaling at the same time is looking kind of good for the side of AP Bren, right? If we really have to put the numbers down 1-to-1 as we start seeing what some of the emblem picks are going to be, a lot of Wilderness Blessings coming out for the side of AP Bren.
This seems to be a Burmese Ghouls decision that they really want to let their opponents rotate because they'll pick the fights when they're ready. And look at this, Kyle Easy just loaded up from game one, man. He's doing the same thing. He really does, Wolf, live inside the Ghouls jungle.
I wonder what were the setups for AP Bren to actually allow this happen. I mean, we know that Nolan is pretty quick when it comes to dealing with the jungle, but yeah, AP Bren and Kaltizi, we gotta really check his address later on after this series.
I see some ID.
I swear, if you open up his grab app, it's telling you your jungle every single time. But noticing that on the bottom side, that Stitch already losing that flicker, hopefully that doesn't get punished later on into the match, because at least for the side of AP Bren, they have the option of saying, you know what, we don't need the turtle, we're just going to hurt you down bottom side.
Oh,
Man,
Oh my god.
Kaltizi clearing the minion wave. That's curious.
Fuse looking at Kyle is like,
Hey.
come on, man.
Oh man.
You know what? There's another wave coming in. I think it's gonna be fine. They just have to delay this turtle. They know that the Burmese Ghouls can't go as fast.
Yeah, and they will take the purple again. Okay, so this is the rotation,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen.
This is
and then Ogwin just resets the turtle.
Yeah, this is
That's very
delayed.
nice.
this is so annoying.
It's a proactive delay.
Wow, the rotation coming from AP Bren.
And Kyle is level 5 as well. Like this, they've set it up perfectly.
Look at
Here
this.
we go. Spacing them out. Carbon answering back. Few very
Oh.
low. Gets taken out by Carbon. And now Ogun can't even respond. The Ghouls pull the turtle all the way to their side. But wait, look at this. Very sneaky.
Yeah.
Kyle Teasy
Kyle
stole away
Teasy.
the orange.
And even the Rock Horse is going to be taken out.
Oh,
Kaltisi is just taking away the farm
He's going down bot
from
side.
schools.
our farm.
He's going down bot side. No, he's
Oh,
decided
what?
off of it. He's starting to head on through. They're going to contest.
Coming in with the pull. Committing it on the Ogwin. Gets taken out. Turtle still standing. Watch Kyle Teasy. Goes in. Nico still secures. And Nico gets out of there. That's a couple of wins. Big 3 minutes in for the Ghouls.
I love being at these internationals because now we are seeing the evolution of teams don't necessarily have to contest the turtle in the exact same way. They can delay it, and more importantly so, these plays coming in from Carbon is actually making it worthwhile for the side of the Burmese Ghouls. He's unlocked finally.
And look at Stitch trying to actually bait out this blazing duet.
Big 2v1, close call. Ogun almost caught Stitch, but Stitch saw it coming.
Yep. Super Marco survived that. He was able to get that cart, the catapult, the cannon. And also, Burmese Schools was able to get the turtle. This means that they are in a much, much, much better spot compared to the previous game.
We're definitely going to see much more aggression coming in for the Burmese Schools in just a little bit, especially as we're starting to move in and end this early stage of the game. But I'm curious. I feel like APBR, well, more so towards the Burmese Schools, want to extend the laning phase for as long as they can.
Yep. And this is not how APBR was looking to let this rotation go. This is cool because the ghouls are learning as we're going. Oh, wait, Stitch down bottom, not going to survive long enough to get his ult off as Kyle Teasy pops him off 1v1.
It's clear that at least for the side of APBR, they're looking to just punish Stitch every single time. They kind of want to delay these turtles, but at the end of the day, as long as they're walking away and making sure that Super Marco gets ahead in his lane, then this becomes a much more difficult game for the side of EG.
The early corrosion sight coming out from Super Marco, 4 minutes, 20 seconds. Gonna go for DHS, Flap in trouble.
Oh no, commits the flicker, dashes on through. Blink and Nico want to finish the job. Oh, it's a 3v1. How is Flap surviving?
No.
How is Flap still alive? There's the Mystic Gush. The Filipino cannon survives.
I really wish we had a mic check for that, because what was the decision there? Was he telling us, okay, I'm going to die, I'm going to buy some time. If you can make it, then come on over. If not, just chill. Because you can see the hovering coming in from Kyle. Like, he kind of wants to help, but at the same time, what can he really do?
Yeah. And craziest thing about it is that Flap TC is not even rocking a Brave Smite. That's Quantum Charge. He's still able to sustain himself. Flap TC knows this hero a lot.
Here we go. Second turtle already spawned. 5 minutes in. Few throws out. Mystic Projectile. In comes the final slash. Carbon with the bravest fighter. Turtle at 10th of its health. Nico gets a retribution. Kyle Teasy half health coming in. Carbon with the flicker and the tail end of that big two-handed sword as the ghouls advance inside APBR's jungle. The ghouls are looking great. 2-1 here. 100% turtle take rate.
This is the power spike from Burmese Schools. This is how you should be playing your composition. I like seeing Burmese Schools' aggression right now. And the fact that they are not getting baited out, getting outplayed by the members of APBR. As soon as I say that, there is the gold coin.
Whoa, Blink with the pull! In Kyle Teasy gets popped by Nico.
Talk about timing here. Literally timing.
The timing.
It happens, right? I think that it's a little unlucky for the side of Burmese
Oh,
Schools.
Charles?
No.
Charles coming
What?
in. Final slash,
Are you
displacing
kidding me?
Carbon. And just like that, he is so in control. He knows how much life he has left.
Are you kidding me?
You have to admit, it's kind of upsetting
It's
that he's getting
upsetting.
away.
And you only have like literally just Thunder Belt. You don't even have a lifesteal emblem set. You don't have the Brave Smite. You don't have any items.
Got a little heal on the QC though.
That's true. That's true.
It's not nothing.
It's not nothing.
Please,
on.
just let me live. I mean, to be honest, considering that for most EXP laners, you know that you're going to be kind of left isolated on your own, your own side of the map, right? You're expected to be independent. But I think in this particular case, like, how far is he really pushing that line?
He's taking independence to a whole nother level. He's self-sustaining. He's straight up photosynthesizing.
He's financially stable, that's for sure. Oh my goodness. Looking with 13 more seconds for the next turtle to spawn, I think it's a little unlucky that it keeps on spawning on this side of the map, because Burmese Schools would be more than happy to go on this bottom side. But now, with the lane swap, and especially with the tier 1 broken on this side, now the Burmese Schools can take full advantage of their comp.
And so far, I think APBR have understood the assignment. They know that they're down about 1,000 gold. They know that the ghouls are playing with initiative, and this is where the Burmese want to be. There's the pull
Speaking of
by
initiative.
Nico.
Speaking of initiative, you see the Kajab plus Stitch combo. Are they even concealed at this point?
Uh-oh. They're rotating in. They find Few. Gets a Divine Judgment off camera. He gets popped by Stitch. Popping the Torn Bar Memory Carbon. Drawing a line between the ghouls and APBR. Going for the bravest fighter early on. Flicker still in tow. Ogwen coming in with the full combo. And now the turtle take resumes. Oh, it's not going to turn into a lure just yet. We're already past the 8-minute mark, and this is a turtle dance if I've ever seen one.
Rare sights. Kaltizi is level ahead of Nico.
Oh, another bravest fighter. Flap Teasy finds the angle from the back. Bravest Fighter in, blazing the wet just enough to have the retribution have a larger margin of error. AP Brent steals the final one.
Darn, that was actually really, really close. Right on the very edge there. Nicely done coming in from the side of Kyle TC. But let's not forget the amount of abilities that were thrown to make this retribution actually safe and secure. Nicely done by Flap TC.
Yep. The flappening, as we call it.
It's happening.
The flappening! Wonderful final slash, catching 4 people. And not only the amount of people that he was able to get, like you said, the timing that it was. The CC plus the retry combo coming out from AP Bren was crisp, I would say. Even though they already have the numbers, the XP advantage between CalTZ as well as Nico, they still utilize all of their tools just to secure the turtle. And then they get out safely.
Talk about an XP advantage? Dude, Kyle TZ, it's as if he didn't even suffer in the mid game, man. He's still ahead now, 12 to 11. Nico, half health, gets caught by the combo of Ogwin. Just like that, I feel AP Bren crawling back slowly.
They are, and I think this is where we see the strongest part of AP Brent in these moments between the Lords, between the Turtles. They're making active moves across the map in comparison to the Burmese Ghouls, right? I think their strongest is when that neutral objective is up, they have some really creative ideas with the way that they actually play with Stitch as well as BlinkX.
One good thing that AP Bren is doing is they're making sure that Super Marco is getting the farm up. And he's not even contested. 0-0 and 0. At this point, you're happy if your Cloud is like that. Especially because it's a close game. And Burmese Schools eventually will run out of steam.
Yep.
So mid-game is their power spike, and that will last until maybe 15 minutes. They have to make the moves right now. Otherwise, AP Bren's naturally scaling lineup will be superior.
Whoa, gentlemen, they're in their prime, is what we're trying to say. And just looking at that gold difference, the gold is not where you want it to be for the Ghouls right now.
Not at all, not at all. This is wait, bot side, what's going on there?
Oh, Carbon, 3v1, 4v1. Oh, he got ganked. He could not say anything to that. Now Nico trying to repair the situation. Catches Flap, and now the fight breaks out entirely. Stitch takes out Few, but Kyle finds sweet revenge. And now Lina gets caught out. Flap TZ already spent his ult. There's a pull, not gonna happen in between the walls. AP Brent have initiative here. 2 for 1. Big timing here, this window for them to steal away the Lord. Gets reset as Kyle TZ wails away. Pushing back Nico and Lina. Blink holding the river bush. What's gonna happen? He spots out Marco. Oh, he's the one who gets spots out this time around. And he gets on out of there. AP Brent, they want this Lord. They need it. Final slash by Flap TZ. Puts him where he wants him. Carbon coming in with the bravest fighter. Kyle TZ scores. And the fight continues. Super Marco with a blazing duet. And the Nether Realm from the Ghouls. Getting them just enough time to back off.
Man, this is one heck of a game. AP Brand being proactive on the bottom side, but more importantly, the fact that Burmese Ghouls are making the correct decisions. 3 big ultimates. Wait, hold on.
Oh, Divine Judgment on the Flap TZ, and he survives, but only for a second more as Stitch takes him down.
Man, a caster just can't compliment you at this point, right? You know, every single time it just occurs like this, and, you know, hopefully AP Brand don't give another one, as they already have the Lord on their side pushing towards the bottom lane.
I mean, great idea coming from Burmese Schools. Back-to-back objective dances, they utilize the Kaja ultimate on the Few. The Divine Judgment on the Few meant that they will eliminate one, but in the previous Lord dance, CalTZ found Stitch. It was more than enough. The damage was more than enough. Stitch doesn't have the Wind of Nature yet. And the fact that they already lost their EXP laner, that meant that there was not enough vision on the side of Burmese Ghouls to stay in the Lord area. And AP Brand just a better macro decision overall. They pushed the bottom lane, and then they positioned CalTZ in the mid where he could snipe people.
I mean, can you blame the Burmese Ghouls for taking a fight like that? I felt like it was more the fact that AP Brem were able to find that trade in the first place, because 3 big ultimates are down. I felt like even if I was part of the Burmese Ghouls squad, I would have made the exact same decision.
Gentlemen, it seems to be a matter of forcing it. One of them just wanted it more, and one of them just had a better go at it. And right now, that's AP Bren. AP Bren, same situation as what, maybe 4 minutes ago, wherein we said, Burmese Ghouls, you have to seize the day. You have to know that this is your window. This is your power spike. It slipped away. Yeah. We're at 13 minutes. What were you saying, Wolf, earlier? 15?
15.
Forget about it. Ooh. It's AP Bren's game now.
Ooh. Oh, 2 minutes. I mean, 2 minutes left until we hit that point, but with the 4K lead that AP Brand have, I can definitely understand the sentiment, especially when we start looking at the items as well. We got Ice Queen Juan already finished. Like, if anybody gets even clipped by few, this could be a potential problem.
Exactly. It's a massive problem. And then you're looking at Flapteasy, who can man the front lines now with Antikiras as well as Dominance Ice. That's the 2 items that literally shuts down 3 heroes of Burmese goals. That's the Brody out, that's Carbon's Lapu-Lapu out of the equation, and also that's Nico getting neutralized by just the itemization that we see from Flapteasy.
Man, I hate to be the kind of commentator that goes, hey, you missed a spot, but are we missing out on big ticket NetherRealms? Is that just me?
I feel like, as much as we would like to believe that the big ticket NetherRealm is going to actually make a difference in these cases, let's also consider the fact that AP Brand have really good ways of smothering their opponents, right? Like looking for those disengages. Flapteasy doesn't necessarily always have to engage. He can just slow them down. Hey, Final Slash, push you away. Oh no, you got the Guinevere, spatial migration away. And Few never wants to be in that forward position. So therefore, he's going to be the next person to deter their opponents. I just don't see a way for Burmese Ghouls to be able to collapse on their opponent other than Carbon and BlinkX. Those are the only two.
Yeah, they're juggling between the priority of Carbon, BlinkX, and protecting Stitch. That's a lot on the shoulders of Lina right now.
Are we expecting a hero play here, Wolf? Like, I'm looking for BlinkX and Carbon. They gotta make something happen somehow.
Expecting, maybe no, but I think that's the only option now for Burmese Ghouls.
Yep.
Oh, look at
Somebody
that
has to
lore.
make a hero play, but
It's melting.
oh,
They
nobody.
are setting it up from this bush, though. Carbon coming in from
What
the
a reset.
long bush. No conceal play coming in from either side. Lord gets reset. I think AP Brand knows there's shenanigans afoot.
Yeah, and what they will be doing is to clear the mid lane first, because their bottom lane is already getting pushed out. But fortunately, they have a turret anyway, so that's gonna be taken care of. They might lose the turret because of this, but they will win the war. And Ogwin gets the aggro. They will reset it again because now the Nolan can take care of the top lane. Every lane is gonna be a-okay for AP Brand. They even are slow pushing the bottom lane.
Oh, here we go. We were looking for it.
Wait.
The ghouls find the
This
conceal.
could be good.
They
This
move.
could be good.
They,
Kyle.
they move into the river bush. And Kyle Teasy, I
Slap
don't know.
nose.
He knows.
Oh!
Oh, Blink comes in. No one gets pulled. It's Marco. It's the perfect target. But there's no follow through as BlinkX gets taken down. Oh no.
Oh no!
It was a good intent, but they could not do the plan. And now they have to recover or concede the Lord. AP Bren now, the ultimate opportunists, take the Lord and continue their assault.
You understand why he went for that play, but the timing was just not there. And AP Bren was more veteran-y to kind of foresee that kind of play.
Uh-oh, the gush coming in from Few. Flap flickering back. Stitch gets him. And here's another one we were looking for. Few in trouble. Gets down to about 8 HP. Gets the heal. Still playing with some range as the rest of AP Brent collapse. Down goes Carbon. Lina and Nico retreat. Super Marco still wants his man. One bullet short. The ghouls are able to retreat. Damage control.
Oh man, Carbon overextended there. Like, he made the play, he needed to start moving backwards. You can't be wasting your time standing up front, hoping that you can keep on zoning them, especially once we reach this later stage of the game where AP Brent has so much more damage and your Lapu starts to fall off. Oh, it's... I mean, if we could change anything, I just hope that Burmese... Oh, whoa!
Here we go. The ghouls looking to punish. There's a big pull on the Ogwin. He does have an immortality. The defensive gush. Kyle Teasy coming in and out, dashing through that wall. The ghouls able to defend.
Like I mentioned earlier, it could have been so different had they just waited just a couple more seconds more.
Yep.
We saw that Nolan rotating down. They had no idea that they were in that bush, but AP Brand, great game sense throughout. You know, walking up to kind of initiate something, and unfortunately Burmese Ghouls bit onto it too soon.
Oh, purple going over to AP Bren. What timing from Marco? What mechanics?
And by the way, Flapteasy just used the final slash to kind of nudge the buff away from the Burmese Schools members. That was a smart play, Mr. David.
Yep.
Oh
That was calculated. And now they do the same thing to the purple, but Nico says, nuh-uh, not today.
Not this
today.
time. Oh man, I love the idea that they're just planting flags everywhere, just
Yeah.
saying, nope, this is mine. This is my property now.
It's tagging him, mine.
Oh, it's upsetting, but at the same time, you can't blame them, right? They're really far ahead. And now that the goal lead is actually coming to a point where it's not necessarily going to matter in just a little bit, I think that even if Burmese Ghouls even it out, we're still looking for that hero play. We're still waiting for either Marco or even Few to make a mistake.
We were looking for it, and we saw half of it, right? We saw Blink find the perfect target. It's just the other half of the movie, they asked us to vacate the cinema. Where was the action scene? That was it.
That will be the worst happening in my life. I wish that would not happen to me.
It's basically Inception, but as soon as the heist was about to go down,
Exactly.
the lights go on. Like, what?
Yep. Or better yet, people are just bringing their phones into the cinemas and trying to record it, and someone had to stop it at some point, right?
You wouldn't.
It wouldn't.
You wouldn't divine judgment in the 5.
Now with the Lord spawning, this is a Luminous Lord, mind you, that this is not easy to take down.
It's
AP
evolved.
Bren,
Look
they-
at that.
Look at them. They're right in front.
That was so quick.
All right, timing might be off. I wonder what Nico and Carbon are thinking, but yeah, no, here we go. Blink coming in, gets caught out by Fuse projectile. Ogwin with a full-on combo, and Carbon coming in with the bravest fighter. Netherrealm saving them already. Blink with the pull, and Marco gets popped. Nico gets the kill. Carbon's still alive. It's a 4v5 situation as the ghouls come back to life, but they also have to come back to their base as AP Bren's minions come on in. They're being stopped.
wait.
AP Bren.
The minions
they're
have
still
spawned.
good. They're fine, but they have to defend. Burmese ghouls find the big kill, but they also have to put on their big boy pants and say, we gotta defend.
Oh my goodness. It's stressful to see.
Oh! You were saying Kyle Easy gets a kill on Lena, but yes, what's stressful?
It's stressful to see your base under attack and the two people who are supposed to push it out and clear it out decide to go back into the fight and only leave Lapu by himself to do all the dirty work himself, man.
AP
Stressful.
Bren are overloading the ghouls. They were celebrating that win, that pickoff, but then again, you have to snap back to reality. This is what's happening right now. Ogwin finds a good on combo. Few puts out the gush. The Lord's still standing. Nico versus Kyle. Kyle versus Nico. And the minions. The ghouls still alive.
Okay, a moment to breathe finally, especially for the ghouls. The second wave is going to come on in, and they know that it's going to break at least one of these inhibitors, right?
Niccolo.
They might force it.
Oh,
Carbon
no.
comes in, gets hit with a final slash, serves up the fuse. Gush, and Carbon's still alive. What's going on? Blink coming in, looking for another big DJ. But he's gonna know. He's gonna respect the fact that he can't force anything.
What an intense defense coming up from Burmese Ghouls, and it's mainly because of AP Bren just taking the initiative, right? Taking the tempo of that mini game that they were playing. The fact that AP Bren was almost able to take out Carbon, that's actually massive if they took out the immortality, but fortunately for Burmese, Carbon still has the immortality for now.
And he's wailing away, gets hit with another
Oh,
final
Stitch!
slash. Look at this,
Stitch!
Stitch! Popping! Kyle Deezy's immortality
What is
gets
happening?
away. Where was the damage from? How did that happen?
Oh my
Did
god.
we just miss that exchange?
Talk about a Brody specialist, dude.
Right? Now, it was so quick. It happened all so fast, and even Divine Judgment was utilized at that moment.
Here's him, Carbon once more with the bravest fighter. It's as if this thing has no cooldown. And they defend. That top lane inhibitor falls. The mid lane stands.
Man. I would say AP Bren, they do have the better late game. They have the Gore, they have the Claw, they have great scaling across all of their players. But there was this old proverb for AP Bren where almost all of their losses during MPL Season 12 and some parts of IESF and some parts of the other tournaments that went out, it was, I believe it was SBS also, they struggled in the late game.
Oh, wait
They
up!
struggle in the late game!
Where was that from? Marco gets caught out by Stitch. I was on Wolf's story as, yeah, they do struggle in the late game, but wait, here we go. This Lord fight, this is an unprecedented situation for the Ghouls. They have never had a game this good against AP Bren right now. This situation Blink
Carbon.
gets hit with the final slash. Carbon slashing away at Few. He's getting smothered by 4. Gets his immortality pop as the rest of the ghouls wail away at the Lord, an evolved Lord, their very first Lord. Can Nico get it in? Yes, he does. Retribution is good. And now the Netherrealm saving Blink. They're going to get the pull onto Flapdeezy. Not going to even pop his immortality as the Philippine Cannon walks away. Stitch gets popped. 3 defenders from the ghouls. 4 from AP Bren looking to crash out into their base. This might be it. All the waves are crashing in. Top, middle, and bottom.
2 seconds. 2 seconds. The Lord was fun.
Oh, they need the Lord. They need the Lord. There it is. Spawns down bottom. Mid lane inhibitor falls.
I mean, they can clear this up, right? They can clear this up. If AP Brand just take their time with this, they should be able to whittle it down. They've got 2 waves on their side, and if they've smothered both, at the very least, the Burmese Bulls... Wait. No,
Blood is back, by the way.
Fine, right? Carbon's
Here
come
we
back
go.
at 13.
It's 10. The longest
Flap.
20 seconds. Flap. Oh, gets tried to pull in. Does not happen. Lord gets taken down. 5 members of AP Bren here applying pressure. Can the Burmese defend?
Carbon is alive.
Oh, here comes Carbon. Look at all the rifts, look at all the damage. A Divine Judgment on the Flapdeezy gets his immortality pop. And Carbon and Lina leaning hard on AP Bren. Carbon goes down. Lina goes down. Stitch just waiting. Flapdeezy gets popped. Ogwin loses his immortality. Oh, this is an actual life bar we're looking at, gentlemen. The ghouls still here. 1 for 1. 23 minutes in.
They're ready to play. They've evened it up 10 to 10, 23 minutes into the game. We were talking about the fact that, hey, they've already missed their power spike. We're expecting AP Brent to really take full advantage of it. And now, with the creativity of the Burmese Ghouls, and especially with a couple of mistakes coming in from Super Marco, giving them a breath of life here. No inhibitor still, but if they get that next upcoming Lord, they might be able to even out the odds.
Whoa.
Blink.
Oh, that's a full-on combo. Into the skies they go. The Netherrealm saving them for just a little bit longer. Easy, look at this. Watching, waiting, commiserating. Does not find the pop-up as Nico goes in, uses the immunity and dashes away, gets his immortality popped, and he's gonna go down here unless he has something to say. Another set of iframes, dashes on through, stays himself, turn apart memory, popping, fuse immortality, and that's 1 big HP bar, 1 resource that AP Bren have to look out for.
Crazy mechanics for both teams. Stitch used the flicker forward when they're trying to get back. What the hell?
I wouldn't have even considered it, only because, number 1, he's got immortality. Number 2, Lord spotting in 30 seconds, he's not going to have his flicker.
But Few, my oh my. There was, 5 years ago, he was called Mr. Buy himself at a certain point. Bought the immortality at the right moment. You can see Stitch, oh my goodness. He bought the immortality in just a split second.
He knows.
Oh man,
Oh,
thank you for the
phew.
instant replay coming in from Kidia. As now we get to a very critical moment in this game. And I mean, considering that Lina hasn't been dying as often as you would like to imagine, he's been stacking up real good here.
Okay, 23 minutes. Flapdeezy went for a game changer item. I love it. Twilight Armor. There's a lot of big bursts coming up from Burmese, including the Brody damage. If you count the Ghost Bursters from Lina, that's also massive damage that you take out. That's going to be a game changer now for AP Brand.
Speaking of which, here's another dance. This is the 5th Lord of the game, 25 minutes scaled, no longer gonna get stronger. Flapdeezy gets pulled in, forcing out. That flicker gets hit with a Divine Judgment, still alive though, down to 1/10 of his health as Easy scores. Now Ogwin gets to use his ult, full-on combo coming in, still alive, forcing it out. Nico gets the kill. Nico gets popped by Marco though, and that's a 1 for 1, 2 for 1 now, as Few gets caught out in the back. Carbon goes, 2 for 2 as well. Easy finds Sweet, and there's a pop. Easy just going from target to target to target, and now it's just Lina and Blink, the winner tranche coming in. Flapdeezy still alive, gets pulled in. Final slash by the Filipino cannon as he goes. Ladies and gentlemen, Blink is the only one left. Can he defend? AP Brent coming in with the Lord, and they are going to take this series in a 2-0 sweep.
History tends to repeat itself, but my God, with the new faces of the Burmese Bulls, they put up one hell of a defense up against AP Brand, but it still was not enough. AP Brand take the game 2-0.
A showdown of mechanical skills that we saw. There's so many items sold on, so many items bought. a fraction of a second, the decision making, even the NetherRealm, the big ticket NetherRealm that we were looking for, pretty much on point that time. But the Winter Truncheon usages, the Winded Natures, all those flickers, all of those immortalities being popped, and then Winter Truncheon being bought afterwards. My oh my, what a game!
That really was a great way to open up M5. We got to see a little bit of everything, you know, the mechanics, the overall decision making, the creativity is what I'm very impressed by from both of these squads. At the end of the day, this is going to be setting a very high bar as we move on with the rest of today's schedule.
The Ghouls forced AP Bren to learn on the fly.
Exactly.
There was a moment, I'd say, what was that,
Exactly.
19, 20 minutes, wherein AP Bren said, all right, we have to take this slow because they're pulling out something new. The fact that Carbon was just coming in, as soon as I have this ult off of cooldown, I'm going in. Blink is, again, doing the hero play like it's nothing.
Yeah.
He's just baiting it out to a certain degree, right?
That last Lord Dance was actually a result of AP Bren learning. What they did was Flap TZ picking up the Twilight Armor, fronting for the team, and actually took so much time away from the entirety of Burmese Schools. And you see Carbon tried to go and look for the HP bar of the Lord. They want to see it, right? So they want to have a vision of the Lord. That's why they put Carbon in after they were trying to kill Flap TZ. But because of that, Flap TZ stayed alive. After the fact, they almost won that fight afterwards. But then again, AP Bren just already took the Lord. They have the damage already, and Kaltizi was also on point that last match.
It was a matter of inches, to be honest. Like as soon as AP Bren just added up all of these little learnings, they came out on top.
They really did. I mean, it was a great match to watch, but obviously there can only be one MVP, brought to you by the Republic of Gamers. Let's have a quick look at who it's going to be. Give a wave, give a shout out to your boy. He's played so well, and I think the entirety of the team does deserve it, but there can only be one, and it's going to Kyle TZ, because the man is an absolute assassin.
The heir to the TZ Blade.
That's
when
right.
he won the
That's right.
MPL Philippines Season 12 Championship, I ran into him earlier that day, and he said, Leo, it's just another day. It's just another day. And here, he's opening up M5 with a performance like this.
Yeah. And he's actually like literally bringing back the memories of all of those fans of Carl TZ back in M2 that relies heavily on mechanical skills that you will be always surprised. And interestingly, this is also Burmese Schools recovering. There's a big 1v1 in here as he's able to take out Stitch, and it will be repeated again. Few being taken out, and Kaltizi still taking out Stitch. That was the great fight coming out from Kaltizi. And here's the first try coming out from Blake, and watch Kaltizi again. Just completely wrapping around, not committing at all, not even showing himself. He tries to be literally an assassin in this game.
Yeah, I just love the ideas that were coming out throughout the match, right? But you can definitely see the adjustments from both sides in the way they kind of approach the situation. Obviously, we were looking for main targets like Few as well as Super Marco, but at the end of the day, it's how you get them out, and they punish that aggression, and even Kyle TC was being a part of that process.
I think one of the things that we haven't really mentioned about Kyle TZ's MVP performance is his patience.
Yep.
He's able to learn on the fly. He's able to pick out targets, which is, again, just experience and wisdom. But he's also so patient.
Yep. You can see the Few masterclass with Winter Truncheon, and now the Immortality being bought. Look at that fraction of a second. He gets out. And here's the play. Once again, good NetherRealm. But they were able to punish Nico because he's out of the range of the NetherRealm. Good with their Truncheon coming up from Flap, buying more time, and there's no skill transfer. Then Kyle TZ getting out and then going for the combo. Fade away coming out from Kyle TZ. Then he buys Immortality, then the Winter Truncheon afterwards.
Just great.
These guys are
overall
cracked.
plays. I mean, these are the best of the best. This is the top 1% of the world playing on the world stage, and this is what we've been waiting for the entire year. I'm considering the mechanics. Let's go into the nitty-gritty here as we go and take a look into the emblems in the post-match stats. I'm curious to see what they brought into this game, because immediately I'm looking at it. Oh, Stitch didn't go for the Weapon Master. He decided to go for the Tenacity instead for the laneability, well, quote-unquote, laneability.
Laneability? I love it. New term coined in the dictionary of Gideon. But one thing that I do want to take note is, that Tenacity picked up by Stitch meant that he might have lasted during the lane stage, but you can see how difficult it is to deal with the Nolan. The burst damage that you can get out of it. Nobody from Burmese Schools was able to last that. And now, when the items, unfortunately, the last set of items that they have doesn't tell the story at all. Even Super Marco sold his last item because he's shuffling between like Immortality, the Rose Gold Meteor was
Tranche.
even in that build order of his. And that's also true with Flap TZ. For example, you're seeing Widow Truncheon here, but at a certain point in time, there's Immortality, there's the Twilight Armor, and then the Queen's Wings coming up from Ogwyn. Like, you cannot just look into the stats that you're looking at, the images that you're looking at the last, and already define what happened in the game. You really have to watch this banger of a game.
It's one of those situations where you're looking for pre-builds and you're like, it doesn't really tell me
Yeah.
why exactly I need to build this in this particular order. But let's have a look at our rich guy coming in for Kyle T. He's coming up huge in this game. I would have expected it to be somebody else, but man, Kyle has put on a masterclass performance and 22 purple buffs secures throughout the game.
That's a lot, actually. But you can see the Lina on this Faramis still dealt the most damage. I mean, we were not really
Oh my
talking about him.
God.
We weren't really necessarily talking about this guy the entirety of the game because we weren't seeing like the Nether Realms, but the Ghost Bursters usage coming out from this guy. Also, you're seeing the Shadow Stampede catching many members of APBR. There was even the time where he was able to force the Flicker so that eventually Blink now can commit the Divine Judgment. The combo of the double pull setup coming up from Burmese Goose was good. However, APBR eventually took over the game. Let's look at the most damage taken, and yeah, it's natural that it was Flap Cheesy actually.
I mean, I don't expect anything less coming out of Carbon. This man was on a mission to just get deep
236K.
into enemy lines and making sure that few did not feel comfortable ripping that all out of nowhere.
What's impressive is that Nico is a solid second to the damage taken.
Yep.
So he understands the assignment that I'm both a sweeper
Yep.
and a way to check bushes.
Yep. Went for the Sky Guardian helmet rather late in a way. Maybe it's because of the farm. But it was like he was already defending their base when he got that Sky Guardian helmet, but that allowed him to be in the front lines and still output the damage with the Decimate. I think there were many standout performances from many players, but also some mistakes that you can see. Like even Super Marco getting in the river, getting picked up, Blink the missing his Divine Judgments, but at the same time, you will forget all of those mistakes because everybody was just, like I said, cracked in that game.
A very long game indeed. Very creative is the most important part because we're expecting a lot more as we go deeper in towards this tournament. Now remember, we're still in the group stages, so once again, congratulations to APBR winning 2-0, and it's important that they take as many of these wins as possible without dropping a single one. We don't want to get into that tiebreaker situation to play those extra games, but at least for the side of the Burmese Ghouls, it's important for them to keep on winning in a sweep fashion to maybe get into the knockout stage.
Yeah, to be fair, it's not like any of these teams were bad. Everybody's great. There's a reason why you're here at the world stage. But in cases like this, especially when you beat your opponents 2-0, you got to show that you're better than great. And AP Bren did more than just that. AP Bren showed that, hey, we have the mechanics, we have the macro